What's up, guys? Today on Sports Center, and be going over a college football preview. This one's going to be over Cincinnati and Ohio State. Both of these teams last week overall played pretty well. I mean, Cincinnati being a team I think honestly could be one of the better Group of 5 conference teams going into this year. And so for Ohio State, I mean, Ohio State's a team that is very difficult to beat at home and is for sure one of the best Power 5 conference teams of the past decade. But how is this game going to go? Who's going to end up winning it in the end is what we're going over here today. This game is going to be on Saturday, and it's going to be at 11 a.m. Central Time. The spread currently says Ohio State by 16, and the FPI says Ohio State 75%. So really, I mean, it's keeping it closer than some other games that we're seeing this week. I mean, for example, the Michigan and Army game that I just previewed, I actually had a 96% chance of Michigan winning, and I was just saying, man, that is way too high up on Michigan. But yeah, for the FPI, 75% for Ohio State. I think that's about accurate. I mean, that's like a 3 out of 4 chance of Ohio State winning it. I expect this game to be close between these two teams, but I don't really expect anything crazy to happen in this game. 27-18 is what Vegas is predicting for this game so far. And of course, we are still a few days away from this game, keep to note, so those odds will likely change as we go through the next couple of days. Here's your stat comparison for this game, and once again, these 2018 final stats. I'm not doing week 1 final stats quite yet, and that is mainly because if I did 2019 week 1 stats, these stats would not be very accurate based off of one game. It'd only be based off of the skill of the team that each one of these teams faced. And so 2018 final stats is what we're going to be doing here today. Next week, we will be doing 2019 stats for the first time this season. Cincinnati's got 68th ranked total offense, 67th in rushing, 57th in passing. So really all very consistent between all three of those offensive categories. The defense, meanwhile, 20th overall, 24th in rushing, and 34th in passing defense. And so really, I mean, the Cincinnati team's pretty good defensively. I mean, Ohio State's pretty good defensively as well. And so what that kind of signals is that this game could be a low to a moderate scoring game. Just keep that to note for now. But Ohio State's 48th in total offense, 37th in rushing, and 65th in passing. And of course, with Ryan Day up at head coach, I mean, it doesn't really seem like things are really changing yet. I mean, they beat up Florida Atlantic 45-21. I mean, that isn't as impressive of a win as, I mean, you'd expect to see, but still against Florida Atlantic, still a pretty good win there. But then, of course, Cincinnati, they beat a Group of 5 conference team, a Pac-12 team in UCLA. I mean, it really wasn't, it was close, but it wasn't all that close. 24-14, they got the win there. They held UCLA to 14 points. I mean, that's pretty good for a Power 5 conference team, even though UCLA isn't really as good as they used to be. But that's still a pretty good win there for Cincinnati. But overall, I mean, both of these teams got lots of talent. And I think that Ohio State, I mean, you're obviously going to pick Ohio State in this game. I mean, with them being at home, if it was in Cincinnati, I'd think possibly, oh man, this could be possibly one of the bigger upsets of the year. But in this case, I think Cincinnati, it's a really big long shot for them with it being in Ohio State, and also with them being a fired-up team right now. I mean, I believe Ryan Day is a great coach. I mean, we saw him a couple of times last season as well. He did very well in his first 3 games while Urban Meyer was suspended. But Ohio State, I'm giving them the win in this one. I think that in the end, it's going to be 17-17 at halftime. We're going to see a tied game between these two teams at the half. It's going to be close, and people are going to be a little bit nervous. But I think, as of most games, I mean, that are close at halftime, the team that is always favored always pulls away most of the time. And Ohio State's going to get the win in this one, 38-24. They pull away in the second half. They score a good amount. They score 3 touchdowns in the second half. Meanwhile, Cincinnati's only able to get one more up on the board. But yeah, Ohio State 38-24 is what I'm predicting in this game. I think Ohio State gets a win in the end. So yeah, I mean, it's not really as low scoring as I had put in the stat comparison. I don't know why I said that for sure, but of course, I mean, in college football, things are always more high scoring compared to like an NFL game. Most NFL games, you could say, are much more low scoring. I mean, that's what we typically see out of NFL games. But yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts though on this game in the comments below. If you think Cincinnati can pull an upset, be sure to state why, and I'll try to get back to as many of your guys' comments as I can. I think we're done with college football previews for the week now, unless I think there's still probably one more maybe coming up. If Michigan and Army hasn't come up yet, then I think this is probably our last college football preview of week 2. We're going to be doing some NFL previews as well, coming up pretty quick. So be sure to check out the rest of my videos for week 2. If you like them, be sure to show some support. It is very appreciated to all of you that do that. But yeah, thanks you all for watching. I'll see you all later.